race for the Champions League positions is hot to bloody trot over in the Premier League, with Nottingham Forest continuing their amazing season, currently lying in third position. But what will happen this weekend? We're going to take a look at that and much more next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video. Today it's all about match number 31, that's right, over in the Premier League. We'll get to that in a second, because if you knew where you've been, smash your subscribe and you want to subscribe for Blackburn Rovers, World Football. We're going to all hear under one Rooski, that's right. Currently, Nottingham Forest remain in those Champions League spots, and the likes of Newcastle boosted their own hopes with a stunning winner this past midweek, that's right. But what will happen this weekend? We'll take a look at it, all of it in a second. Of course, if you knew where you've been, hit the old subscribe. You want to stop shop for Premier League is right here. Big shout out to the members. Big shout out to the Patreons, that's right. So what we're going to do now, though, is revisit those last round of games, take a little look at the league table, then, of course, the Superbru, kick on forward to this weekend's drama. Sit tight, hold on, we're getting into it right now, that's right. Here we go then, guys, recapping the results that did take place this past midweek. Now, there is one game still to be played. It is happening tonight. It is Chelsea, it is Spurs, but we've got to get the next video out there. We cannot sleep on our laurels here, but let's recap them so far. Arsenal with a 2-1 win over Fulham, however, with a 2-0 win. Wolves did a massive 1-0 win of West Ham in the battle of the W's. Forest did beat Manchester United 1-0 win. I went with a 2-1 win. Ipswich with a humongous 2-1 away win against Bournemouth. Meanwhile, Villa also continued their amazing season. 3-0 winners over Brighton to move right back into contention for that top four. Man City back to winning ways with a 2-0 win over Leicester. Newcastle also with a 2-1 win over Brentford. Southampton and Palace duked out to a 1-1 draw as predicted. And Liverpool did beat Everton just the 1-0 according to, against my 4-1 scoreline. Again, Battle of London, Chelsea, Spurs happening tonight. So those are the results right here, right now. What about the league table as we see it? Well, it's looking like this right now. Liverpool remain in the driving seat. Of course, they do, just the one defeat all season. Arsenal are in second spot, 4 points clear of Forest in third. Man City remain in fourth with the likes of Newcastle, Chelsea, Villa, all competing for those Champions League spots as well. Going down, Southampton, Leicester, we could probably write those off. But is there anything left in the tank for Ipswich Town? Well, we'll see in a second. Of course, quick look at the old Superbru then, shall we? Well, here it is, the Superbru AC, or Ark Wolf, kicking ass and taking names. 15.5 points for him. Peterless with 14.5 point. Bluebird Legend up there with 14. And then the Chasing Pack then, guys. If you see your name in there, please do us a favour and hit that big old fat like button. Do us a monstrous favour. Also, drop down below that you keep loving the videos, because we're at a decisive point of the season here. We're getting close to the end of the campaign. It is in the final month and a bit. What we're going to do next year, that's all down to you. Vinny Hong, 288 points, kicking ass. Barcelonista up there, and Dream Marley as well. Those are the three medalists. And then going down, it's all you guys. Any relegations? Who's getting relegated there? We're going to go to say Addy. Addy's going down. He's getting relegated. He's on his own in the relegation spots. Anyway, that's, of course, the situation in the Superbru. What about, of course, the next round of games? Well, we're going to jump into them in just a second. Recap of the link. That is the Superbru link. If you want to keep on doing, just get your name in there, maybe for the final few weeks. Now's the time to do it. So these are the next round of games, and they're happening this coming weekend. All kick it off on Saturday, the 5th of April. Just a reminder, that Chelsea Spurs game, I think I might have went with a draw on that. If you know what it was, let me know down below. Remind me, refresh my memory. Anyway, we are going to go with this next one, which is Everton, which is Arsenal. It's on the early kickoffs on Saturday, the 5th of April. That's right. David Moyes' boys, 15th for the table, 34 points for the season. They are winless though in the last 5. However, looking at a different way, just one defeat in the last 6, of course. 4 of those last 5 have been draws up against Arsenal, who are second, 61 points. They're unbeaten in at least the last 6 matches. And that includes a back-to-back wins. Now, they played Everton 68 times since 1993. 12 wins Everton, 42 wins for Arsenal. There's been 14 draws, including a draw when these two sides last played at London, down at the Emirates. It was a 0-0 draw way back in December 2024. Now, the reverse fixture, the last time they played at this very venue was a 1-0 win for Arsenal back in September 2023. The Gunners, though, on the back of that 2-1 win over Fulham most recently. Everton on the back of that 1-0 loss against rivals Liverpool. The bookies are backing Arsenal to win here. Everton were good in that game, I thought, against Liverpool in that first half. Yes, the cream always rise to the top. And I think the cream will always rise to the top in this one. I'm going with a 2-1 win for Arsenal. They'll have too much in the tank over an average sort of Everton right now. Meanwhile, Crystal Palace still got that bit between their teeth, still got a bit of a fight in their lockers, taking on a Brighton of Albion over at Selhurst Park. Brighton currently find themselves in 8th spot, 47 points for the season. They're winless though in the last 3 matches. Up against the hosts, that's Crystal Palace. They are 12th for the table, 40 points for the season. They're unbeaten in at least the last 6 matches with an impressive record of 92%. Now, they've played Brighton 26 times since 2002. 9 wins Palace, 7 wins Brighton. There's been 10 draws between these two sides. This is the derby, right? The old M3 derby, M23 derby, whatever they call it. Anyway, coming at you over at Crystal Palace last time around, it was a 1-1 draw back in December 2023. The reverse fixture over at the Amex, it was a 3-1 win for Palace. Palace on the back of that 1-1 draw against the Saints, of course. Last time they were at home competitively, they did beat Ipswich just the 1-0. Brighton on the back of that 3-0 loss to Villa. Back-to-back games in the league without a W for Brighton. The odds for this one is a tight one, a very tight. Palace just edging it with the bookies' eyes. I'm going with a 2-0 for Palace. They got that. They got their legs up right now, and they're looking good at the moment. They could finish the season very, very strongly with Oliver Glasner. Meanwhile, Ipswich Town up against Wolves, coach at Portman Road. What a big game this is, of course. A win for Ipswich puts them right back in contention to get back out of the drop zone. A win for Wolves will probably end any concern, you would imagine, for them going down. Anyway, Ipswich currently find themselves 18th with 20 points for the season. They're coming into on the back of a win, an impressive win as well. Meanwhile, Wolves also coming into unbeaten the last 3 back-to-back wins and have played Ipswich 35 times since 1995. 9 wins for the Tracker Boys, 13 wins for the Wolves, and 13 draws between these two sides. Last time around, over at this very venue, in the league, it was a 1-0 win for Wolves way back in January 2018. The reverse fixture, a 2-1 win for Ipswich over Wolves at Molineux back in December. They're looking to do the double, guys. In fact, Ipswich got back-to-back wins over Wolves, stretching back to 2023. Again, Ipswich on the back of that 2-1 win over Bournemouth. Their last home match, though, was a 6-goal thriller, losing to Forest. Wolves on the back of that 1-0 win over West Ham. Their last away match was a win over fellow strugglers Southampton. The bookies' odds for this one is tight. Wolves just about edgy, according to the bookies. I'm backing the Tractor Boys to get another win and maybe, just maybe, put some life in that relegation fight right towards the end of the season. West Ham United up against Bournemouth. That's right, come at London Stadium. Graham Potter's boys are 16th at the table, 34 points for the season. They'll win this, though, in the last 3. Up against Bournemouth under Andy Areola. Just 1 win the last 6. They've hit a right old stinker bit of form right now. And, of course, they could end up in the bottom half of the table. They played 18 times, these two sides, since 2013. 7 wins for the Hammers, 5 wins for the Cherries, and 6 draws. Last time around, of course, at this very venue, in the league, it was a 1-1 draw way back in February 2024. They also played twice already this season, once in the Cup. That was also down at London Stadium. It was a 1-0 win for the Hammers back in August. The reverse fixture, a 1-1 draw down on the coast, of course. Bournemouth on the back of that 2-1 loss to Ipswich. West Ham did lose to Wolves. Their last victory was a 2-0 win at home to Leicester. Goodness gracious me. But the odds right here, right now, do fancy Bournemouth for the W on the road. Their form book is a little bit shit right now, and I think that will play into the hands of West Ham and Graham Potter. 2-1 winners for the Hammers, getting themselves back to winning ways. Let's go Villa then. Up against Forest, a ding-dong classic for the race for the top 4. Villa under Unai Emery, they are 7th right now, 48 points for the season. They've won 6 on the spin. Up against Nottingham Forest, Nuno Espirito Santos boys, they are also unbeaten in the last 6. They've won 5 on the spin. They are 3rd, 57 points compared to Villa's 48. They played 20 times since 1994. 8 wins Villa, 4 wins Forest. There's been 8 draws. Last time around, of course, over at Villa Park, we had a 6-goal thriller, 4-2 it was for Aston Villa back in February 2024. The reverse fixture, a 2-1 win for Forest over Villa at the City Ground back in December. Villa, though, on the back of that 3-0 win over Brighton. They've got 3 impressive wins, 3-0 wins on the spin in all competitions, all venues. Aston Villa, they've actually got 4 clean sheets on the spin as well. Meanwhile, Forest on the back of that 1-0 win over Manchester United. That was, of course, just the other day. The odds for this one is a tight one. Villa are fancied for the victory here by the bookies. I'm also going with a big 3-1 win for Villa, but I think Forest still in a good spot for their Champions League spots for next season. Let's hope so. But Brentford then, up against Chelsea. Brentford under Thomas Frank are 11th right now, 41 points for the season, just one win though in the last 4 up against Chelsea under Enzo Marquesca. They are 6 as of recording, 67% form for them right now. They have played Brentford 11 times since 2013, 3 wins Brentford, 5 wins Chelsea. There's been 3 draws between the two sides, including a draw when these two sides last played at this very venue. The Community Stadium was a 2-2 draw way back in March 2024. The reverse fixture at Stamford Bridge was a 2-1 win for Chelsea back in December. Chelsea only winning once over Brentford over the last 6. That was their last match, but they're coming into this on the back of that 1-0 loss to Arsenal. Of course, they are playing Spurs tonight, so that may affect their form coming into this. Meanwhile, Brentford on the back of that 2-1 loss to Newcastle. The bookies' odds on this one, I think they'll probably give it to Chelsea. Of course, they are a little bit deluding those eyes. But I think Brentford at home are something else. I'm going to 2-1 win Brentford, getting the win over Chelsea to boost their own season. Let's kick on forward then further. Fulham up against Liverpool, coming at you at Craven Cottage. Marco Silva's boys are 9th right now, 45 points for the season. They've just lost once in the last 4. Up against Liverpool under Arnie Slot, they are tip at the top of the table, 73 points for the season. Just 1 win though in the last 3. They played each other 37 times since 2001. 7 wins Fulham, 22 wins for Liverpool. There's been 8 draws between the two sides, including a draw at Anfield back in December in the reverse fixture. Now, the last time they played though at this very venue was a 3-1 win for Liverpool back in April 2024, around about this time last season. Liverpool, though, are unbeaten against Fulham over the last 6, winning 4 and drawing just the 2. Fulham, though, on the back of that 2-1 loss to Arsenal. Liverpool on the back of that 1-0 win over Everton. Of course. But the odds for this, they do back Fulham to lose, the bookies, and of course Liverpool to win. I'm also going with a 2-0 win for Liverpool to continue their dominance this season at the top of the table. More action then, shall we? It's the Pochettino derby. Here it is. It's Spurs. It is Southampton. It's coming to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Ange Postelegroo's boys are 14th right now, 34 points for the season. Just 1 win though in the last 5 matches. Up against the Saints and even Juric, winless. I don't even know how long. They played 50 times since 1993. 26 wins for Spurs, 15 wins for Southampton. There's been 9 draws between the two sides. Last time around, of course, over at this very venue was a 4-1 win for Spurs back in August 2022. The reverse fixture, a 5-0 win for Spurs over Southampton at St Mary's. I'm going to do a quick calculation here of the amount of goals they've scored, these two sides, in the last 4. We're talking about 10, 15, 21 goals scored between these two sides, both home and away, in the last 4. You do the math on that. It's averaging 4 goals a game, something like that. Pretty good stuff. The Saints, though, on the back of that 1-1 draw against Crystal Palace. Spurs on the back of that 2-0 loss to Fulham. But the bookies' odds on this one, they do back Spurs to win this one. They should win this one. They have had a miserable season domestically. The 3-0 winners in the end for Spurs. And then we go to the Manchester derby. It's United. It's City. It's coming to at Old Trafford. Ruben Amorim's boys are 13th for the table, 37 points for the season. They're on 50% form for them right now. 1-2 loss to and drawn to over the last 6. Up against City under Pep Guardiola, 75% form for them right now, just 1 defeat in the last 6. They played United 67 times since 1993. 33 wins for Manchester United, 26 wins for City, and there's been 8 draws. Last time around at this very venue, competitively, it was a 3-0 win for City back in October 2023. Now, the reverse fixture, a 2-1 win for Manchester United at the Etihad back in December. City, though, on the back of that 2-0 win over Leicester. United on the back of that 1-0 loss to Nottingham Forest. Bookies on this one, they'll go with City on this one. I think I'm also going to go with City on this one. I think they might put a few goals past them. No Haaland, of course, he's out, but I still think they've got the talent and the firepower to put Manchester United to the sword and, of course, make another miserable weekend for that lot. And then finally, we go to Monday night. It's Leicester. It's Newcastle. It's coming at the King Power Stadium. Leicester under Ruud van Nistelrooy are 19th right now, 17 points for the season. They have lost 6 on the match. They're going back down to the Championship. Meanwhile, Newcastle under Eddie Howe, they've won 3 on the bloody spin. They sit 5th right now, 50 points for the season. 38 times they've played since 1994. 14 wins Leicester, 17 wins Newcastle. 7 draws between the two sides. Last time around at this very venue, it was a 3-0 win for Newcastle back in December 2022. Of course, they have already played each other this season. 4-0 winners it was for Newcastle at St James's Park. Now, Newcastle have won 5 on the spin against Leicester, and in the last 4, they've yet to concede a goal against them. And if you stretch it back further, just 1 goal conceded against Leicester in that last 5. And they're coming into this on the back of that 2-1 win over Brentford. Leicester losing to Man City. They haven't scored a goal in the last 6 matches. Leicester are doomed to go down. They can't score goals. They're not going to win this game, despite being in the home dugout. They'll lose it. 2-0 winners. Newcastle taking it to the house. And that, my friends, will complete my predictions for this weekend's actions. And this is what the table will look like after it. Of course, Liverpool remaining tip of the top of the table there, with Arsenal in second spot, Forest in third, despite losing. City closing in on them, though, in the top 4. Newcastle in the 5th spot, going down. Southampton, Leicester, maybe Ipswich can get out of it. 6 points of difference in my eyes, according to themselves and Wolves. But that's it, guys. That's what I think. Let me know your thoughts as we look forward to this weekend's action. Until then, subscribe, smash the like. We'll catch you later. But until then, we are done.